Joining us now, producer of Beatboxers and E3 Collegiate Champion, Jessica Runyan. Jessica, welcome to Studio B.
Hello. Thank you.
You brought a trophy with you.
I did bring a trophy, our shiny trophy that we worked so hard to get.
Okay, let's start with this. For those that have no idea, what is E3? What does it stand for? And what type of competition are we talking about?
Yeah, so E3 actually stands for Electronic Entertainment Expo. So it's E cubed. And it's basically where all the major gaming companies like Nintendo, Bethesda, Ubisoft, they release kind of what their plans are for the next year, year and a half. And so as a finalist in the E3 college competition, we got to take our game Beatboxers to the show floor. And we're literally like steps away from Nintendo and Sony and them showing their big games that they spent years making and ours next to them. And it was really kind of cool to kind of see our work kind of pay off in like a big way.
And that's awesome. You were on a team and you were a finalist for a competition because you made a game. So
Yes.
Tell us about Beatboxers. What is it and how'd you win?
So yeah, so Beatboxers is a rhythm fighting game. So if you took Guitar Hero and a game like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter and smashed them together, this is kind of what you would get.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I like it. And we're seeing some video of it on BYUtv side.
Yeah.
So describe to us what it's like to play this game and how you guys came up with this idea.
So yeah, actually it was our lead designer, Mike. It was his initial idea of combining these two game genres together. And so what you end up doing is you pick a musical genre. So we have Maestra, who's our classical genre, designed after like a violin and a conductor. And then you have Riff, which is our rock and roll, you know, the classic battle of classical music and rock and roll, taking it out. And so you kind of fight against each other to the beat of the music, which you can kind of see down at the bottom. Those little dots coming in help you kind of stay on beat. And the closer you are to the beat allows you to outplay your opponent and take the victory and ultimately steal the spotlight and win over our gorgeous crowd in the background.
This is awesome.
Very cool.
Like, what did it take to create a video game?
Oh, a lot of time, a lot of patience.
Yeah, how long? How long is this in development?
So the game is in total development for about a year. We usually spend the summer doing a lot of prototyping and concepting and kind of figuring out what we can do and what we can't do, what breaks the Unreal Engine, what doesn't break it. And then all through fall and winter semester, we just try to iron out all the details and make our art look super good, which our art team was absolutely amazing.
It looks legit. Yeah. Totally.
What kind of feedback did you get from some of these major gaming companies at the Electronic Entertainment Expo?
Yes.
EA Sports, it's in the game.
E3. What kind of feedback did you get from these major companies?
A lot of people were really surprised that it was actually a college game. They were super shocked that it looked as polished as it was. We actually had somebody who worked on another fighting game called Killer Instincts, which we kind of actually used for reference, who was an artist on that game, talked about how great our game looked and how polished it looked and how nice it felt, which was a huge thing for us because we looked at his game for our game and then have him come around and be like, this looks amazing and these are ways you can fix it. But a lot of people were just shocked that college students made it. And even in a year, that was also super surprising to them.
Give us an idea of kind of this scene within BYU and the college scene of eSports and gaming and the growth there. Because we're hearing about arenas being built and there's TV rights for major networks to watch and broadcast eSports.
Yeah, I mean, eSports is, if you kind of watch eSports, you already know that it's here. And I think for a lot of people, it's still trying to figure out, well, it's still a sport. And to me, it's almost the exact same as watching football on TV.
Right, you're watching the competition.
You're watching the competition. Right. And I think what's really interesting about eSports is most of it takes place, or at least where I watch a lot of it, is on Twitch. So you're able to kind of like chat with other people that are watching the game. They even have like casters that tell you the play-by-play and kind of explain what's going on. They have interviews with the players. You can like follow their YouTube channels and see them practicing and their own personal stories. So it's very similar to what I kind of saw my dad enjoying growing up watching football, except I never got football. And this is something that I understand and play. And so it's kind of nice to kind of see how I now understand why he liked watching football, and I just watch people play video games.
Is Twitch a TV channel, or is that a website?
It's a website, yeah, okay. Twitch.tv.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of it is.
Jessica Runyan, producer of Beatboxers, E3 Collegiate Champion in Los Angeles, with us in Studio B. What other teams did you beat? What college teams put together good games, and who did you best?
Oh, goodness. I don't remember all the college. I know there were 5 of us that were there. I think one of the most interesting ones is we had a school to the left of us on the floor from Michigan that they actually worked on their game for 4 years. And then it was cool to kind of see their game was completely different than ours. It was similar to kind of like, it was like an open world, like platformer, similar to like Mario Odyssey, kind of, which is the most recent game that kind of came out, where it's like you explore this world and you jump on it. And then you had ours next to it, which visually looked different, played completely different. And it was kind of just interesting to see all these different schools come with completely different games kind of competing against each other.
We just want to know which schools you beat so that we can brag.
Yeah, Michigan, USC, Notre Dame. Yeah.
I mean, the state of Utah did not make it to E3.
Okay, there you go.
We did.
There you go. We need that. We need that. Is this something you did for fun? Is this for a class? Is this something you want to do on the side, a main job? What is this?
Yeah, I think it is a class that you can take here, but most of the students, they just do it for fun. It's very like student driven. It was definitely us that kind of made it work and finished it. It was a lot of weekends, a lot of nights. I think the night before we left for E3, me and a couple other students were in the lab till like almost 1 in the morning trying to finish this stuff up. And for me, this is something I would love to do. We got to visit Riot Games, which makes League of Legends, which is a huge esport right now. And we got to go visit them, and this is something that's going to look great on all of our resumes, because not only did we make a game, but it got noticed by a lot of people, and it won a competition, which is a big deal.
So can you sell it?
So
what's the next step?
So the next step is, well, actually in about a month, there's still a couple weird bugs that are happening in the game that we have to fix first, but in about a month, it'll be available on Steam for free, so anyone can download and play it. Yeah.
Very cool.
In the hopes of, is that it garners traction and then perhaps you can add advertising to that, or how does that work?
Well, it's kind of a little complicated right now with some of the programs that we're using. We don't have like a commercial license of that, so we can't necessarily sell
students,
it.
you made it.
Yeah.
You won a trophy. It's
And
awesome.
I think a lot of this is a good project for all of us, but a lot of us are moving on to other things. We have one of our students who now works at Bungie, who makes Destiny. So he's often working in
That's a
the
huge
game industry.
game.
We have another student that's working at Blizzard, who helped with the effects for our game. So a lot of us are kind of moving on to bigger and better things.
I know Blizzard from Warcraft back
There you
in the
go,
day.
yeah.
I didn't play Warcraft a ton, but I always saw Blizzard.
Well, you had a victory royale
Yes, we did.
as Beatboxers. There you go.
Very nice. Very cool. We don't know much about esports, so this is giving us a little hint into that. Congratulations.
Thank
Very
you.
cool. Yeah.
Thank you.